Welcome back, AMFishers. I'm Bill Georgopoulos, the host of the AMFish Fishing Vlog series. If you have yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I suggest you get in there. There are a lot of informative videos, such as the one I'm about to shoot, that you don't want to miss out on, because I do cover quite a bit of good product out there, and I share quite a few tips on how to catch fish more frequently on your outings. So I'm just going to jump straight into this video here. This video is a product that I wanted to do a video on. It's made by Freedom Tackle, and as you can see right there, there's the product itself. It's called their Stealth Swim Jig, and it's quite unique. To show you something real quick there on one of these, you see that head's moving around in there, which is not really common on a jig, flipping jig, or a swim jig. These are their swim jig series. It's called the Stealth Swim Jig, and here's a show you some of the differences of this. I want to be as detailed as I can in this video. I'm a kayak fisherman and a shore fisherman, so battling how much tackle I can actually take out on outings is a huge thing for me. Don't want to head out with too much tackle. You don't want to head out with not enough tackle. But this product here actually offers several advantages when it comes to how many soft plastics you'll end up going through by using their product, which is going to save you a lot of money that way, plus the versatility of not having to go out with a ton of tackle. So just to jump back into this, here's a normal flipping jig, swim jigs. This is an actual flipping jig, similar product. Swim jigs will typically have more of a minnow style head with an eye on it, but the concept's the same. And as you can see, there's no movement to this hook, and there's no movement to this head. It's all one solid piece. The hook goes right into the lead head. Just going to open up one of these Stealth Swim Jigs to show you this unique product that these guys have come up with. That's absolutely amazing in my opinion. So here's the actual jig from Freedom Tackle. And as you can see, I'm moving the back end. I'm moving that hook, I'm moving the skirt. The head is free swinging, which is really, really neat. I haven't seen anything on the market like this. These guys have done this, definitely, in my opinion, right. And this offers a lot of advantages, especially to someone like myself who's in a kayak or fishing from shore, heading out with minimal tackle. So just to give you an idea, they've done this very well. It's basically a free swinging motion there, and on the back of their package, very descriptive. It allows you to remove the hook. The advantage of that is this hook on this jig here, this other product, if this gets busted, cracked, way too dull, or the tip falls off, or the barb, maybe this much of it just breaks off a rock shoal that I get hung up on, or a dock pole or something, this is pretty much useless at that point. I might be able to salvage the skirt and the rattle, but I can't put another hook on this. There's no way I can embed another hook into this jig head. By allowing us on these Freedom Stealth Swim Jigs, and it's all their products that actually have this technology built in, you can remove this hook. Huge advantage, because this product now does not become useless and garbage at that point. If something does happen to the hook, I mean, it comes with a very strong hook, but if something does happen, again, fishing, we might get hung up on some sort of metal component by a dock or bracket or something, a cinder block that breaks that hook, and it does happen. There's a lot of tension, a lot of no-stretch lines that we're using these days. So being able to replace the hook on this, that to me is a big thumbs up. And it's got a unique little mechanism in there which you thread the hook on and off. This here is a brass chamber inside the lead head. This also there are also some advantages to this brass head here. Lead is very dense, so when it's banging and knocking off of stuff underneath the surface, it really doesn't make too much of a noise. It's kind of like an absorber. It's dense, it hits, and that's about it. But by having movement in this brass chamber, what you're allowing that to do is create that little bit of a pinging noise or clicking noise, which is amazing. Again, you're using a lot of these jigs, swim jigs, flipping jigs, as crawfish imitators, so that's a perfect little thing. Another thing with this beautiful little chamber here is it's a hollow chamber, so it's just got that mechanism where you thread the hook on it. But because it's hollow, the second it hits the water, any trapped air in there will float back up as bubbles. And that's really neat as well, because that may attract fish. Fish will zone in on stuff like that. Where'd those bubbles come from? What just fell into the water? So again, Freedom Tackle's done this very, very right, in my opinion. And the ease of use of these things is quite simple. I mean, they've got the instructions back here as well. If you want to put the hook on, you hook it on clockwise. That's how you put it on. If you want to unhook it, you counterclockwise turn that hook. And I'll show you real quick how simple it actually is to do that. Again, they've done this well. They've got a good skirt on here, a good stranded skirt, a very strong hook. They've also gone as far as to include a bait keeper, which is really neat. So now you can make the soft plastic that you would normally thread just onto the hook here 100% weedless on that hook. Whereas flipping jig or another version of a swim jig, yes, we have that weed guard, but we can't really put our soft plastic on in a way to protect that hook there anyway. It's just going to be threaded off and dangling off here, which leaves all that exposed. You can do the same thing here. You don't have to use the soft plastic keeper, but if you just thread it on and leave it dangling off here, all that is exposed, just like it would be on that. Weed guard's not going to do much in that scenario. But when you have the bait keeper, you rig it up like this, and now it's become completely Texas rigged and weedless. But just to give you an idea again of how easy it is to actually unhook this, that was one turn. This has become a separate piece. And there's the chamber, and there's that little mechanism, that twirl mechanism in there that allows you to put new hooks on. So, I mean, this is, you know, talk about an advantage as a fisherman, especially myself who's a kayak guy and fishing from shore. I mean, I can replace this. If something happens to this skirt and it gets badly damaged, I just pull this right, you know, this skirt comes right off this hook right now. So it just basically, you disassemble the entire bait. But what that allows me to do is, if I want to put this skirt back onto another hook, as an example, I want to make this a crawbait now. Here's a crawbait I actually have rigged on another hook, pre-rigged. This happens to be a red hook. So say I want to use a red hook as well for a little more flash. I can put that skirt back onto this hook and then rig this, and now I've got a different looking bait. If I wanted to do the same thing as a swim jig, take this skirt, put it back onto this hook, another red hook with another swim bait here, soft plastic swim bait, and rig that up, I've got a completely different bait. So now I would have a skirted swim bait that's Texas rigged. If I just wanted to actually use it like this, now I have just a minnow style bait with a free swinging head. Now keep in mind, any hook you put on here, this head is going to move freely. This body is going to wiggle around a lot more. This hook's going to basically be able to circle itself. Talk about versatile. That's why I wanted to shoot this video on this specific product. I'm a big bass guy. I've been a bass guy at heart my entire life, and I head out there, and I like to head out there with as much tackle as I can, just like any fisherman or angler out there wants to do. But what this allows me to do is, again, if I wanted to do that same thing with these standard jigs, again, there's nothing wrong with these. There's just not much versatility to them. Doing the same thing with these standard jigs is not going to be as simple, because the more I take these plastics and thread them on and create entry holes and exit holes and entry holes and exit holes, you're going to end up with chewed up plastic, just like here, where I've got, this is a good example of one that I've chewed up. Lots of entry holes, lots of gaps. Eventually, this is just going to just be rendered useless, and it's going to go away in the garbage. So using the Freedom Tackle product, again, another big advantage. I can have this hook rigged with a soft plastic frog, a black frog, and use this swim bait just underneath the surface as a topwater bait. I take this hook off, I put this craw on, now I have a crayfish bait. Take that off, take this swim bait now, put that on, now I have a swim bait look. If I want to put the same swim bait on and take the skirt off, I do that, and now I have just a minnow style bait. So I can change the look of this bait, and I can change the application of this bait very quickly, very easily, due to the technology that's been put into this head that allows you to take off hooks, damaged hooks, or just have a bunch of pre-rigged hooks with other baits. I can probably rig maybe 6, 7, 8 different soft plastics to run on the back of this head, with the skirt, without the skirt, if I want to change this skirt as an example. So here's the bait out of the package. If I want to change this skirt from a black and blue and put on a chartreuse and black, I can do that. Just take the skirt right off the hook, comes off right here very easily, right out of here, and attach it on. If I wanted to do that same type of thing with the white version here, and I wanted to put a chartreuse white skirt on here, or chartreuse red to match some of the red patch underneath the head, I can do that. Just take that hook off, take your skirting off, take a brand new skirting that you can buy anywhere pretty much, and put it back on here, and there you go, you're off to the races. So this is a very unique product. I mean, if you haven't checked it out, please go in there and check them out, guys. You know, I do videos on baits and companies that make baits that I really do enjoy, and I think there's a lot of value in them, and this offers significant value to anybody out there fishing. You know, they've got different sizes, different weights available. This black and blue is actually a 1/2 ounce. This white one here is a 1/2 ounce as well. You can get them in a 1/4 ounce, 3/4 ounce, up to 1 ounce as well. But superior product, guys. These heads are made very well. They've got a good solid eye on them. Again, you got the advantages of that little chamber, being able to remove a hook. You got the brass chamber in there. It's going to give off that clanking noise. You've got that hollow chamber in there that's going to give off some of those bubbles when it lets the air out every time it hits the water. You know, I'm looking at it as a win-win-win-win-win right across the board, especially being a kayak guy, to be able to sit here and say I'm out bass fishing, and now they're stopping, you know, they're stopping the strike on, as an example. Let me just put that there. So say this hook's on with the skirt and they're not going for this crayfish look anymore. I can change it and start swimming it now with this look. I can take the skirt off again and just use it with the swim bait itself. So I can turn this one product into 5, 6 different applications and 5, 6 different looking baits, maybe even more, because I'm just covering a few of them right there. This specific one here, it's got pretty much, that's just that one use. I can put, you know, this on the back of it. I can still create it with this one. It's not going to be the same. I will not get that same wiggle action, that extra action you're getting from the Freedom. You're not going to get on this. This doesn't move. So, you know, none of that side to side or circular or extra vibration like that's going to be happening on a standard jig like this. So again, you know, there are applications where, you know, someone may want to use something like this and get stuck in their way using it. But at the same time, this is a swim jig. Again, it's their stealth swim jig. But it doesn't necessarily need to be used only as a swim jig. This can be used as a flipping jig. And it's clear right there, right? You know, this on the bottom, dangling around, the skirt dangling around. You've got your crayfish up in the air. And this is going to add even that extra movement right off the bottom as it's sitting. Plus, you're going to get the noise from the chamber. Plus, you're going to get some of the bubbles being released from that chamber as well. So, guys, like I said, superior product in my opinion. It's very, very simple to use. Just it's on and off, on and off. Again, if you have not checked them out, get in there and do so. They've got some other really cool products as well. But I wanted to do this video on this specific product here, the Stealth Swim Jig series. I use swim jigs. I use flipping jigs. Now I've got a jig here that I can use as a swim jig and a flipping jig, with multiple applications, as I just covered here, with various types of soft plastics, mixing and matching skirt patterns, mixing and matching soft plastic bait colors, and again, with all the sizes and weights available, I can be versatile on the water with maybe 3 or 4 different versions of this in a couple of different colors, you know, a chartreuse white, a red and white, a black, blue, you know, whatever other colors. I can see a bluegill that they have, I believe. I can get out there with maybe 3 or 4 of these jigs, and those 3 or 4 jigs can quickly become 15 to 20 different baits. That to me is versatility at its best. They've done a great job. Again, if you have not checked out Freedom Tackle, guys, check their website out. This is you know, a great technology that's available to us. You don't want to miss out, and it's definitely going to help you increase your productivity out on the lake. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you found this video very helpful. If you did like it, feel free to hit that like button. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, get in there and do so. I will be doing more videos on the Freedom product line as well. Again, it's a superior product line in my opinion, and you know, it's definitely worth checking out for anyone who's looking for something unique and something different that fish probably haven't seen and will react very differently to. So thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.